Every business wants good customer reviews. Every customer wants a good experience. So what happens when both sides click? Or in some cases, when they don't? From Yelp and Entrepreneur Media, this is Behind the Review.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
I'm Emily Washkovic, Yelp small business expert. Every week, I pick one review on Yelp and talk to the entrepreneur and the reviewer about the story and business lessons behind it. As we continue to celebrate Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, this week we share the story of another Asian-owned business, Tea and Milk, a bubble tea shop founded by three friends in New York City that aims to bring creativity and happiness to customers with each cup of fresh tea. Let's see what's behind this week's review.
What I really enjoyed about going there is the fact that I can smell all the different odors. There's almost like an aroma that's permeating throughout the room. A lot of that comes from the food that they have, like limited bakery items, but also the fact that they're making their drinks on the spot. And it just smells so good that it makes me curious to ask, what's behind that counter? What is it that you're making right now? And what flavors do you have that are seasonal and temporary? Because I'd like to take those home first before indulging on everything else.
That's Hondo. As a Yelp elite for the past 14 years, Hondo has had his fair share of bubble tea around the country. Quick note, Yelp elites are a diverse community of avid Yelp reviewers who are passionate about sharing their experiences with local businesses. Although Hondo had been no stranger to bubble tea when he stumbled upon Tea and Milk 8 years ago, he was so impressed that he's become a regular ever since. Let's hear Hondo's review.
Before the bubble tea craze spread it all over the borough, Tea and Milk was practically the only boba game in Astoria. And still today, they remain one of the only successful non-chain bubble tea businesses in New York City, all while having developed serious fanfare amongst the local community. The shop is as small as many other cafes and bubble tea places. Most of the staff is of college age and is super nice. But of course, the real draw is the drinks. At various sizes, they do a good job with the branding and offer a good variety of flavors that extend beyond the basic stuff that boba shops might showcase. It's important to note that they don't use powder when making their drinks. Sure, the prices aren't exactly budget-friendly. However, the high-quality product proves its value quickly. My boba jam is their hibiscus flower peach and their taro milk. Both are refreshing and mildly sweet, and I prefer no boba in either of them. The roasted oolong is also worth a look, as this is the signature grandma masala chai. There are new flavors constantly being added to the menu, as well as seasonal ones that shouldn't be missed. They also deliver at this point, which is pretty awesome. I'm hoping they stick around for a long time, seeing as non-corporate boba is such a rare thing. To the team at Tea and Milk, keep doing what you're doing. We'll be drinking.
From the branding to the constantly changing menu offerings, Tea and Milk was a pioneer in the New York City's bubble tea scene. Now a beloved and established neighborhood boba shop, Tea and Milk's journey actually had a very humble beginning. It all started out with a group of friends who longed to make a difference. Let's hear from Tea and Milk CEO and co-founder Matthew Wong on how the business came to be.
We had three people who were co-founders, and we basically wanted to leave our 9-to-5 job. We wanted to do something to get out of that corporate world. That being said, Tea and Milk wasn't our first venture. We were doing something along the line of furniture drop shipping, and it just didn't work out. But ever since then, we just basically went to this bubble tea shop out in Chinatown, and we were always there talking about how we want to leave our jobs, we want to do something else, we want to get creative and do something to make something different. But we didn't realize every day we were talking to each other, we were at this bubble tea shop. And eventually, we were like, hey, why don't we do bubble tea as well? Since we enjoyed it, we can make this like an outlet for other people who are in our same shoes and basically come and say, hey, we're here to talk. So that's how the idea of Tea and Milk started, to help people think about life in a different way. We started in 2013, And we didn't even have a storefront at that point. We were doing a lot of testing of different types of teas, different types of powders and non-powders and jams and all these different things. We wanted to be different. So we didn't want to use the traditional powdered milk, powdered taro, powdered all these like flavoring that was just not good for your body. We just want them to come in and feel welcoming and they're drinking something that's healthier than the average bubble tea place. Most of the suppliers told us that we would fail if we didn't go through with their formula using powdered milk, powdered taro. We were persistent. There were times where should we fall back and do that or should we not? Should we open up a franchise? Should we do something else? At that point, in 2013, franchises were not that expensive, but you have no creativity. You can't do anything else. For us, we wanted to be creative. We wanted to make things different. We wanted to make sure that whoever is drinking our drink tastes the love and passion that we put in there and also the creativity that we put in there. So we had to go and find other suppliers literally around the world to find tea leaves, non-caffeinated teas, locally sourced milks, taro from our supermarkets to figure out where it's coming from and how they're getting it. Eventually, we got everything together and we started to do a lot of R&D. And then we started off in a 10 by 10 foot space at the Long Island City Flea Market. Talking about humble beginnings, it was very different. We didn't know what we were stepping into. This is the first time into the food industry or the drink industry. All three of us were in the corporate world. And ever since then, we were, hey, this is probably the way to go. We showcased what we were doing. We were brewing teas on the spot. We were putting real fruits into the drinks, real taro into the drinks. People were amazed at what bubble tea could be. It's not just the powdered ones, as a lot of people know it to be.
Matthew and his team knew the type of product that they wanted to serve, and they didn't compromise with powder. They went forward with the real thing, which has paid off tenfold. Fresh ingredients elevate the entire experience. One thing that Hondo loved from the moment he walked into the business is the robust aromas and flavors. Tea and Milk is famous for a seasonal menu with rotating flavors and new drinks. He follows them on social media to constantly stay up to date with what they're serving. Those new menu items are based on seasonal flavors. Tea and Milk sources fresh, high-quality ingredients from around the world. These unique and high-quality products are what set them apart from the chains.
There are seasonal drinks, and from the spring, summer, and fall time is the same seasonal menu. It changes by the season because of the types of fruits that are readily available and also fruits that are imported into the US, imported to New York. We know that you can't have certain fruits in the winter and they're not going to be the best quality. We make sure that the ones that are still there on a yearly basis are just your traditional flavors or our concept flavors that we've actually researched and developed ourselves. We get most of these flavors from basically all around the world. Our rooibos tea is not directly from Asia. It is from the continent of Africa because rooibos is from that region. We don't get matcha from anywhere else but Japan. And then our black tea is from India. We actually have to get teas from different places and then send it to one space and then we pack it. The logistics part of it is very hard and is a huge headache in the beginning and during the pandemic as well. But the way we do it is very rewarding because you know where your teas are coming from. We also educate everyone to where everything is from as well.
Education is a big part of the engagement between Tea and Milk and their community and customers. They were one of the first bubble tea places in their New York neighborhood, Astoria. And for many customers, they were the introduction to boba and some of the teas and flavors offered. Having employees who can make the drinks, but also educate the customers on them and where they originate from is important to the experience. Educating your customers on the decisions behind the products and services you provide is important in any business. The story won't always tell itself.
Because of our product, of how different it is, we did have to explain to literally every single person why it's different, why it's made differently, what bubble tea is. We also had to make sure that our staff knew what we were doing, our mission, our vision. Each one of our staff is very well versed at what we're doing and the reason why we're doing certain things a certain way. They know every single little ingredient that goes into each drink because on a daily basis, they make the drink itself. In the beginning, we had to tell them this is our mission, this is the type of drink that goes out to our customers. But at the same time, explain to them what bubble tea is. Make sure that they understand that this is not just a regular bubble tea from a chain. They have to understand that we're different and the reason behind it. I think for the employees and my team, which I'm very grateful for throughout this whole time and this whole pandemic, every single one who has been here with me for this long, they understand the mission, they understand the vision, and they understand what we're striving for. A big part of what we do is that we educate our team, but then we also educate the people who are our fans or people who will come in here and just try it once. When we educate them, they understand the reason why a certain drink tastes a certain way. They'll understand that if they go somewhere else, they're not going to get the same quality product. So the education part of it, it goes forever because of what we're doing.
Let's take a quick break. Hey business owners, did you know that over 4.2 billion people are active on social media now? That means if you want to connect with your customers and find new ones, you need social. If you want to build loyalty and stand out from the competition, you need social. And if you want to make using social media easier and more impactful, you need Hootsuite. Hootsuite is the must-have tool for managing and growing your business on social. Hootsuite makes it easy to find your audience, whether on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or Pinterest. You can schedule content, publish posts, and track your success all in one place. Millions of businesses around the world are already using Hootsuite to supercharge their social efforts. And now it's your turn. Go to hootsuite.com/behind the review to start your free trial and get 50% off your first year. That's HOOTSUITE.com/behind the review for a free 30-day trial and 50% off your first year. And we're back. Let's hear how Tea and Milk found silver linings through new initiatives during the pandemic and in giving back to the community.
Tea and Milk came into a very sleepy part of Astoria. It's not even the most people trafficked area of the neighborhood, that it created a little bit of a tidal wave. I would like to actually think that they've increased the demand for boba in that particular neighborhood. Now they have a new location in Chelsea Market. So they've also made it to Manhattan as well. And that's pretty big time for a small business that started in Astoria. Now that they're doing kits and such, I think that maybe the sky's the limit.
During the pandemic, we weren't ready to stay open, even though we were deemed essential because we're a food and drink establishment. We were closed for a good 2.5 months. My general manager, Jennifer, she is the one that is the brains behind our DIY boba kit. She spearheaded it and found everything to make that kit. She just basically texted me and was like, hey, I'm bored out of my mind, which everyone is. And she was like, hey, what if we started a DIY bubble tea kit and we help people make bubble tea at home versus going to a store since everyone's staying indoors? I immediately said, let's do it. I think that's a great idea. I think it's the perfect time to even get that run up and running. In a matter of 24 hours, we had all the equipment we needed, the boxes, the bags, we had the sealers, because we had all our inventory in the shop already. It's not like we didn't have anything. So with all that in place, we started sending surveys out to people saying, hey, would you guys like this bubble tea kit? We didn't know it was such a big hit. We just wanted to make everyone's day by helping them make bubble tea at home. And these kits eventually shipped nationwide. And even a couple to Canada. The mailing to Canada was like $70 and they paid for it. The kits actually served 3 purposes. One of which was to pay our staff who was working from home, working hands-on, making the kits. The second one was to buy PPE for hospitals because at that point, hospitals were running out of PPE. So we ordered masks and we donated them to a lot of hospitals, a lot of clinics, and also people who were delivering food to the elderly. And the third thing that we used the money for was to donate drinks to hospitals, first responders, and those people who were actually there working around the clock. Some of the hospitals like Elmer's Hospital, which was during that time hit the hardest, Mount Sinai in Queens. We donated to hospitals all over New York State itself. Every single kit served those purposes. Eventually, we reopened our shop in May, and we didn't know what to expect. We thought it was going to be a ghost town. When we reopened on the day of, we were also shocked of how many people were here. The whole street was literally lined up 6 feet apart, just waiting for their drinks. They ordered online or they came to order.
Tea and Milk has continued to find new and inventive ways to grow their business. Besides the popular DIY kits that they successfully launched during the pandemic, the team has also been trying out new ideas and thinking outside of the box to both grow the business and engage the whole community in Astoria. Here's Matthew sharing a bit of their Pay It Forward Astoria campaign and how it came to be.
There's other initiatives that we took as well. One of the businesses right next to us called 10,000 Foxes Tattoo. The owner is Tim, and he came to us one day and was just like, hey, can I buy 30 drinks? And basically on one day, people come into our shop to the Tea and Milk, and those 30 drinks will be passed down from him to these people to make their day. And I was like, yes, let's do that, and we'll match it. This initiative is called Pay It Forward Astoria. So on a monthly basis, on a certain day we pick, we give out 60 drinks on the house because we wanted to do something for the people to make people happy. And then for them to eventually think, oh, that initiative that was there through Tea and Milk and 10,000 Foxes, they'll probably do something else for someone else to make their day and have it trickle down a little bit. So that's something else that we participated in during this time because a lot of things were happening and a lot of things were just not friendly or people were not happy with it. And we just wanted to start and brighten other people's days with that initiative itself.
Tea and Milk cares about their community and the people who live in it. That deeper connection is what motivates customers and community members like Hondo to share their experience.
Tea and Milk, the fact that it's locally owned, doesn't belong to a corporation of any kind, and they use artisanal type stuff makes me really excited to try some of the things that they're offering. And it makes me more invigorated over the fact that I'm helping support a small business as opposed to a global chain conglomerate. It's about putting your 2 cents out there in hopes that it helps people that are looking for the same thing. I'll start writing in a voice where hopefully people can resonate with it. And hopefully, more importantly, that it can help people make that educated decision ultimately on where to spend their money.
A lot has changed since the locally owned Tea and Milk opened and received its first review. And so has the team's approach to reviews. Now it's a collective team effort and dedication to learning from mistakes and delivering the best customer service.
So in the very beginning, when we first started and we saw our name on Yelp, we didn't even know we signed up, but I guess people write you up and then it just automatically gets you in. We were seeing a lot of 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews, and we're very happy about it. It was great. We loved it. In the beginning, as a business owner, it's your baby, right? Everything you're doing is important to you. So you want to make sure that the feedback that you get is either positive or constructive. When you get that first review that says, oh, I'll order a large, but I got a medium, and it's a 1-star review, then it's heartbreaking, right? Wait, how does that render 1-star review? I was very sensitive to it. I was like, oh my God, I messed up, this messed up. And then it actually stops the whole business, stops the whole idea of running a business because maybe I'm not built for it. I don't want to do this because I feel like everyone's just criticizing or something's wrong. I'm not doing something right. And eventually I felt like I just don't want to do it because if you see more and more negative reviews, it's just sad. But then you go back and read the positive reviews and then it just basically balances out. The negative reviews, sometimes it gets in the way too much, but now I look at them. If it's constructive, I will take it into heart and figure out what has gone wrong, what did go wrong that day. If something happened, is a team effort to find out from the bottom and then work our way up to figure out what the problem was. We read every single review. We make sure that everyone is understanding of what the review says. When we get a review, we share it with the team on a daily basis. We use Slack to tell everyone that's what we're about. A lot of it is customer service. We have to make sure that people are happy when they leave our facility or our shop. No one wants to go to a place and just leave unhappy, right? I don't go to a shop and leave unhappily and then just be unhappy the whole day. I'm sure the owners or the managers wants to fix that. At least from my point of view, if you tell me, we'll fix it for you immediately. If there's not enough sugar or there's too little boba, too much boba, we'll fix it for you. It was a medium and not a large. All right, we'll fix that. It's not a problem for me. We just want you to be happy.
Not only does Tea and Milk strive to make customers satisfied, but they also hope to foster a meaningful relationship with everyone who comes in, having people leave happy. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. From the big initiatives like Pay It Forward Astoria to a simple transaction and moment of education with a customer, it's about making people leave your business happy. Matthew's childhood sentiment with bubble tea is another reason why he wants to craft a space where customers can feel like home.
I grew up in Lower East Side of Manhattan, and it's close to Chinatown. Bubble tea was a phenomenon that people didn't understand when I was growing up. As it was growing and growing, it was somewhat still not the most affordable drink during that time because for me, we grew up in the projects. So it was a place where it was for low income and we couldn't afford to buy bubble tea on a daily basis or even once a week or once a month given. During that time, if we were good enough, my mom or my dad would be like, okay, you guys are good today. All right, let's go get bubble tea. It was a treat. So bubble tea resonates in that type of way for me, or any type of milk tea from a bakery. You can only get it when you are a good kid. But in a way, I really wanted to have it readily available to everyone who would like it. That might be a part of the reason why Tea and Milk was born, in a way where it pushes us to form a relationship with our customers versus just selling a drink. We want our customers to feel like they're at a location where everyone's family, the unity, the relationship, the togetherness, that feel like family. So that's our vibe.
To wrap us up, here's Matthew sharing a closing thought on being an Asian American business owner.
I think in this time after the pandemic, a lot of people saw Asian Americans as the virus itself. It does hurt a lot because then there's hate. What we want to do, what the company is about, with the culture and everything, it's about peace, it's love, unity, happiness, respect. That's the reason why I think food is such a powerful tool, because you can taste the passion someone puts into their food and drink. That being said, as an Asian American business owner, it is a little rough because we don't know what's going to happen to our staff. We don't know what's going to happen to our business if something does happen. What if someone comes in and vandalizes or hurt our staff? We just want to make sure that everyone understands that all we want is unity, love, respect, happiness, all the good stuff that everyone should have. I think that's what everyone wants.
And that concludes our episode. Be sure to subscribe so you get new episodes every Thursday. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to take a thing or two away to implement in your own life. Whether it's a new idea that you can bring back to your business or a fresh perspective on how to be a positive influence as a consumer, we share these stories to inspire and create more meaningful connections in your local community. For more information about today's business or to connect with me, check out the show notes.
Behind the review, dig deeper too. Behind the review, get all the news. Food, flowers, fixing, make business boom. Behind the review, dig deeper too.
Today's show featured conversations with Matthew Wong, one of the owners of Tea and Milk, and Jando S, the Yelp community manager in Queens, New York. Special thanks to V Zhuang, who helped write this episode. To learn more, check out the episode blog post, and don't forget to subscribe so you get an alert each Thursday when a new show comes out. To claim your own Yelp business page and start engaging with consumers, visit business.yelp.com. Starting this month, we have a special offer for our listeners who are interested in trying Yelp advertising. Use code BTRPOD300 to get started today. That's BTRPOD300, and a $300 upfront credit will be applied to your account instantly. Charges apply once credit is used. Cannot be combined with other offers. Any unused credit expires 90 days from date of acceptance. Eligible businesses only, subject to Yelp's master advertising terms. This offer expires at the end of 2021. Our theme song is performed by Ali Schwartz and produced by Robbie G of Messerol Sound. The show was produced and edited by Entrepreneur Media.